Is it possible to beat Resident Evil 2 with only the handgun? You will be joining me to see if this is possible to beat Resident Evil 2 handgun only. We start our journey at my favorite gas station. I knew the owner here, he was a nice guy. The moment I entered the gas station, I immediately felt something was strange. No one was there, so I decided to walk to the back to see if I can find the owner. Surprisingly, he wasn't there also. Okay, I think it's about time I go through the rules. I can only use the handgun. This means the standard handgun and the Magma Handgun. Even though I never used the Magma Handgun throughout the entire journey. But I cannot use the infinite ammo handgun. Back to the story. So, after saving Claire from the zombie, we said we'll head to the police station. Claire told me she was looking for someone, but honestly I wasn't listening. The moment we made a stop, this psycho crashed into us. We said we'll meet each other at the police station. The moment I got there, figured Claire wasn't there, so I locked the front gate. In the police station, saw a keep out sign, disobeyed the keep out sign, saw an officer get split in two, nearly had the same happen to me, and was saved by Marvin. Marvin was the greatest person in the police station, despite being the only person in the police station. But Marvin told me a way to get out of the police station. And he warned me of a man who stalks the police station, screaming, "Leon." I began to search around the police station, looking for medallions, picked up the spades key. Marvin called me back and decided to kill all the zombies inside the library to make things easy on me. I met back up with Claire, we flirted, it was awkward. Thank God the zombies came to an awkward moment. I continued to search around the police station, saw a man get assaulted by a licker, tried to hack, failed miserably, got saved from being assaulted by a licker, found all the medallions, and we make it to our first boss fight. I got on the elevator, got off the elevator, walked through this hallway, and began to hear something on top of me. Decided to ignore it, thinking nothing was gonna come of it. Boy, was I wrong. I was attacked by this thing. I didn't know what it was, or I didn't know where it came from, but my human instinct to kill anything that wasn't me started kicking in. Birkin G1 was easy as hiffle. All I did was aimed, miss, and he died. Anyway, more important things. Does he have teleportation jutsu or something? Because you can kill him from anywhere in that machinery room and he still falls from the same spot. After that, I met Ada, tried flirting with her, she walked away, followed her, and she vanished. I picked up the last handgun upgrade and made my way to the police station in hopes of finding the last electronic piece. I decided to kill all the zombies in this hallway, including the poor bastard who was split in two. I thought I had seen it all. I thought that nothing could hurt me, but these next two things shattered my heart. I decided to go back to Marvin to see how he was doing, but they got him. Marvin was a zombie. Then I remembered what Marvin told me about not hesitating, so I had to put him down. On the roof is where the next thing happened. I began to hear Leon, Leon, Leon. It was the person that Marvin had warned me about. I put out the fire and the helicopter was moved. It was Mr. X. I knew he was a strong guy, but that was impressive. I was actually happy to see him because I thought something had happened to him. But he rushed at me with this look on his face. He was trying to kill me. I dodged him and I ran. Then I figured Mr. X must be infected. Now I had a new mission. I had to find a cure for Mr. X. I had to find a cure for this virus. I decided to go after the magma, thinking I was gonna need it. But like I said in the beginning, I never used it. In my journey, the lickers were creeping me out. There was this one licker who stood next to that door for hours, waiting for me to get out. I even think I heard him say, "I'ma get that ass." I stood there, waiting. I finally got the courage to run out. He tackled me, I pushed him off, and I ran for my anus and my life. After picking up the thingy, I went to the library. Mr. X came from behind me and a random zombie appeared. I made it to the clock tower, destroyed the clock tower, and we make it to the hardest part of the game for me. I picked up the key card and we entered the zombies in the cell and Mr. X. At first, I didn't have a plan of getting past them, but I thought maybe if I run straight. That did it just as well as you're thinking. Now, I had a new plan. How were my dodging skills? My dodging skills weren't great. Now, what if I tried shooting one of the zombies and running past that way? That didn't work neither, and they all ended with Mr. X's fists. Usually on this part, I would use a flash grenade and easily get past the zombies and Mr. X, but I couldn't use a flash grenade, so I had to end up getting fisted by Mr. X. I ended up passing this part out of sheer luck. Not skill, but luck. After Mr. X punched me into a cell, I was free. I was home free, and I ran for my life. I went to the parking lot in hopes of opening the gate. Then it happened. Mr. X broke through the wall, he picked me up, and he asked me, "Where is it?" I didn't know what he was talking about. Then he said, "Where is the 1150 you owe me?" I still didn't know what he meant, but before I could answer him, Ada crashed into him. I didn't know what Mr. X was talking about, but I did know one thing. I had to help Mr. X. I walked with Ada and she told me about Umbrella, the T-Virus, the G-Virus, and the Nest. Now I knew that it was that pharmaceutical company, Umbrella, who did that to Mr. X and who did this to Raccoon. I decided to go with Ada to the Nest in hopes of finding the G-Virus and maybe even later finding a cure to it. Not much happened in the sewer except I nearly failed the challenge. After picking up the king and queen piece, I also had a knife in my inventory. I was having trouble getting past the rats, that's what we're gonna call them, the rats. And I don't know if it was pure stupidity or habit, but after I jumped in the water and one of them grabbed me, I stabbed it. Luckily for me, I died after that. Then it happened again. I jumped in the water, one of the rats grabbed me, and I stabbed it. But this time, I restarted the checkpoint. Now I would have to come up with a plan to get past the rats. I would shoot one of them, it would run, then I would run past it before I get back up. From there, I was home free. Next, Birkin G2. Birkin G2 was pretty easy. I would shoot him a little, bait him to the other side, and repeat it until he died. I saved Ada, and from there, me and Ada, we went to the tram. In the tram, Ada kissed me, but I had to stay focused. I had to find the virus. Everything in the lab was pretty easy, since I spent most of the time avoiding conflict. The only problem were the tree branches. Once the tree branch grabbed me, I didn't have a way to get it off of me, so it was instant kill. But I managed my way to get past them. After finding the third key pass, I searched a little more around the lab and I found the virus. After picking up the virus, I began walking back to return to Ada. Then that thing came back again. I don't know what it was and why was it so persistent, but it was supposed to be dead. Then Annette Birkin came. She began to shoot at the monster and said that thing was her husband. I was shocked. That thing was William Birkin. And then she said, "These are the kinds of monsters the people Ada works for are going to create if she get that virus." Now I knew. She wasn't trying to look for a cure like me. She wanted to sell the virus. Then Birkin got up, he picked up Annette, and he threw her. Annette got back up and she trapped me and William together. Birkin G3 was easy. I just shot his eyes, and when his stomach eyes opened, I shot him until he died. Then I met back up with Ada. I confronted Ada. I knew what she was planning because Annette told me. I couldn't allow her to create another Mr. X or another Birkin, but I couldn't shoot her. Then Annette came and she shot Ada. Ada was about to fall, but I grabbed her. Then Annette died, and her last words were, "He's not infected." Then Ada failed. My first girlfriend had fallen. I picked myself up and continued. I talked to Claire and wondered why she was down there. I had 8 minutes before the nest went kaboom on itself. I made it to an elevator, got the elevator working. Then Mr. X came without his coat. I finally knew what was under that coat. He jumped down and began to attack me. I told him I had the virus and we can probably make a cure from it, but he didn't care. All he said was, "Do you have my 1150? Then a rocket launcher fell. I figured it must have been Annette's ghost telling me what I had to do. Then I picked up the rocket launcher and shot Mr. X. As his lifeless legs fell, I remembered Annette's last words, "He's not infected." Then it dawned on me. I had visited his gas station one day and I couldn't pay the full bill. I told him I'd pay him back later. That was 7 months ago and the bill was $11.50. Mr. X tried to remind me on many occasions about the bill, but I ignored him. Mr. X wasn't infected. All he wanted me to do was to pay him back, and I killed him because I was selfish. I didn't want to pay him back, and I even forgot about the bill. I walked to the train depressed for what I had to do to Mr. X. Now, to answer the question, can Resident Evil 2 be defeated handgun only? Yeah and no. On Leon's campaign, it's impossible because Mr. X can only be defeated with the rocket launcher. But I don't see that being a problem on Claire's campaign. And if you ask me, why didn't I do it on Claire's campaign? The answer is simple. I don't know. Anyway, if you made it this far, you might as well give the video a like and think about subscribing to the channel. Also, if you have any ideas or any further challenges, whether it's Resident Evil 2 or any other game, write it in the comments and I'll reply to you if I have the game or not. Anyway, I've been Tess and I'll see you on the next challenge.